opportunity for us to examine ourselves, to figure out why we have not been a part of this bigger ecosystem.
Interesting friend visiting us.
An alien visit? Non-human intelligence?
Non-human intelligence. We have evidence of non-human intelligence.
One of the most powerful witness testimonies that I've seen in all the interviews that I've consumed over the past 3 years was one of the girls from the Ariel School case. When Dr. John Mack was interviewing her and he's trying to understand how the telepathy was working, and then she goes out of nowhere, "I think in space there's no love, but down here there is."
Well, that's like the near death experience is like a Proof of Heaven by Eben Alexander, medical doctor. Yeah, he has a very interesting scientific outlook of his near death, and that was like this overarching loving energy something when he ascended to this. It sounded like another dimensional plane, if you will. He had basically fasciitis of the brain, where it was he was probably going to be brain dead if he even survived, but he miraculously came back and he was totally fine. But all this knowledge and all this stuff he experienced.
Well, that's a super common thing in alien abduction experiences, whether it's the Ariel School or Commander George Hoover of the Navy actually talked about this. Aliens often come down, they say, "You don't know how powerful you are. You don't know how amazing and powerful you are." And in a lot of mystery rituals, like the Eleusinian mystery rituals and others, you experience sort of noesis, or it's often accompanied by kind of a near-death experience or something, but you experience knowledge of your primordial soul. And you get this sort of loving state, and then you come back down, and there is this sort of a la Jesus translation function issue, where he was known to speak in riddles and mysteries. There's a great book actually called Flatland by Sir Edwin Abbott.
Yeah, that's super classic.
In the late 19th century, where it's like if you were a 3D person speaking to people in Flatland on a 2D plane, or Plato's cave, you see the light, you come down, you can't really tell people, and then you get persecuted.
Well, yeah, he said he had this knowledge, he understood it when he was in that plane, but when he came back and was trying to verbalize it and write it down, he could not find the human words to translate it. It's almost like our symbol rate is too slow to communicate the information effectively.
We're living a very interesting time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and you're playing a massive part in it. So I appreciate everything. Your service, just on a fundamental level, and you're a real example of a modern Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and you're not doing it in this sort of totally reckless wrecking ball sort of way. You're going through the proper processes and doing things legally. But also you have agency.